to tell me what you see.
Plastic and
I see it.
that's hundreds. That's one.
All right, just take it one at a time, please. Okay, go ahead. What do you see?
Well, they're all like, this one's tens,
Mm-hmm.
this one's hundreds, this one's ones. So they're all just like place value blocks
Uh-huh.
to help you. I don't know, just like.
To represent something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? That's a good word to use. What do you think? You think same thing, Gunnar?
I can see plastic.
See plastic.
Yeah,
It's not plastic.
Okay.
Is that
So if I
Plastic.
shift up, if I were to write this out, who wants to try to write it down?
Can I?
Like all of them?
And I have stickers for people who listen. Okay.
So do I like do all of them?
Yes. So look at all of these, and this is what you're gonna write. Okay. So everyone observe. Sky, make sure you're looking. What are we writing? Keep it inside your head because if she makes a mistake, I'm gonna ask you to test. Okay. 3, 4. Very good. So we're gonna count them together. Okay. Let's count them. 100, 200, and that's in the 200 place, right? And then this is,
1, 10.
this represents 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40. Very good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're pretty good when it comes to a whole number, right? It's tricky whenever you look at place value and you start having to go on the other side. So when you look at stuff going left to right, can you reset for me? And then go make it you do something else, okay? When we are looking at my place value, I made this lovely little chart. Yes, Guy? Yes. Does it have anything to do with our place value? Because we only have so much time. Can you hold the question for me? Okay, if it's not related to this, you can tell me afterwards before recess. That sound good? Okay, thank you, Sky. So when we look at this, we have our hundreds, and like we were saying, our tens and our ones, and of course our lovely decimal. Why do we have a decimal? Does anybody know?
Maybe like so you can tell if it's like a higher number or like maybe the negatives.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it might not. Oh, yes, go ahead.
Kind of what Gunnar said, but it could also be to kind of divide them, like, yeah, just kind of divide the higher and lower numbers.
Very good. So, what do you notice? Like, if I were to put, let's see, mess up my numbers. Here, do you want to? Why don't you set up a number thing for us, Guy? Can you move my numbers around? Oh, it just fell apart. Okay, that's fine. I will just do that then. Okay, so we are looking at 689.999, right? So we are looking at ones, tens, and hundreds. What's happening over here? Is it getting smaller or is it getting bigger?
It's getting bigger as it
It's
goes.
getting bigger as it goes.
Right. But does that mean that we have bigger numbers?
No, it's lower numbers.
Lower numbers. Very good. So there are going to be times when you guys go to a grocery store and we are looking at yummy. Give me a food item.
Watermelon.
Okay, so we have watermelon, right? Somebody give me something else that we're going to hear.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Sorry.
I'm gonna ask Sky because she raised her hand. Okay. Chicken. Yum. So say your watermelon costs with inflation and everything, it's really expensive, $7.99. And the chicken costs $10.89
Or like
because we got to think of taxes, right? We're gonna deal with taxes a lot. So
sadly.
when we are looking at these two numbers, we are deciding if it's larger or smaller, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's going to be a bigger or smaller number. So which one is going to be our bigger number that we see? Raise your hand. Yes. Chicken. And why is that? What do you look at first to decide that? Oh, wait. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. you look at the
Yeah.
whole number, right?
Yeah.
But what if I said it is 7.89, the chicken and watermelon? What are we gonna look at, Sky? Which one's bigger, the watermelon or the chicken now? Because we're not looking at the whole numbers, we're looking at what, the tenths and the hundredths? And the watermelon. Can you explain what you're thinking?
That the watermelon is more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Because we're gonna look at which place first to decide. This is the tenths, right? And this number is it bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
It's bigger. Very good. So if we're deciding on that, now Gunnar, what if it is, pardon, it's hard to write upside down. What if it's like this, 791 and 799?
So
What are we gonna look at?
You would look at the
What's the
the
place?
place value hundreds after the decimal. And if it's higher than the watermelon, it would be more expensive. But in that case, it would be in after the decimals and the ones, so it would have to be an 8.
Very good. Okay, so you guys are on it. Ms. Holberg gave me this lovely little demonstration that she wants you guys to make yourself, actually. So you're gonna take, when we get back to the classroom, you're gonna take one of these, you're gonna cut it out. You see how she folded it?
Mhm.
She folded it on the little crease lines. You're gonna also do that as well. And what this does, what, can anyone guess what this is for? Yes.
It's like where you could put the numbers or the decimals.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
Have you done something like that before, Gunnar?
No,
All right, well, we are gonna do it today.
there's decimals
And
on.
you see the little decimals, right? That's a good thing to notice. And what else do you notice? Sky, do you notice anything? What's on that? What kind of words? You don't see numbers. What kind of? We see place values. Very good. So when we place our numbers, we're going to be able to run it through. How cool is that? So when we're comparing numbers, we're going to be able to see it. So we have 100,000s, 10,000s, and thousands. What is the rule about place value? If I go to the right, is it getting bigger or smaller? Because we're going to the right, right? So for example, if my number is 89.231.
You can flip it over and just turn it back around.
231, okay? If we're looking at this, what are we gonna look at first to determine our place? What is the
We're gonna-
8 in?
The tens.
Is the 8 in the 10s?
Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm. The 8 is in the,
10,000.
look at the decimal, because it's not a comma. Gunnar was right, it is in the 10s.
Yeah.
You should be confident. When you say your answer, you have to be like, yes, it's in the 10s. So, in the 10s, what is the 9 place? Sky, can you sit up for me, please? What is the 9 in? Do you see the 9? What place number is that? You remember the decimals right there. It's in the, let's see, this is in the 10s. What is this going to be in? It's a decimal. It's just 89, right? What is the 9 in? Yes. Ones. Sky got it too. So both of you guys got it. Now, when we look at here, is this also going to be in the 10s? Is the 2 going to be in the 10s? Do we start there?
No.
10s?
Yeah.
Wait,
Mhm.
oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Because you're
Because-
going.
Oh yeah, because as we go like that way it gets bigger, but that way it goes down. But
Right.
There's still sorts of this.
Yes, Guy.
Someone's calling.
Oh, I'll call them back. Okay, but thank you. And the 3 is going to be in the. Look over here.
Oh wait, no. The
Hundreds.
after the decimal.
Very good.
And then
Yes.
thousands.
Thousands. Okay.
One.
Can you see that? Okay. So very good. Now I'm gonna raise this and I'm going to, we're gonna look at some problems, okay? Because I want you guys to use some of my whiteboards and solve some stuff, okay? I want you to show me on this number. Who wants to use my marker? Gunnar, I'm gonna have you. Where do you put the decimal when you start? When you look at a number to start, where do you put the decimal?
Just well,
Mhm.
is this like how would you know it? To like 231 or
Mhm. Where do we put the decimal?
Oh, it's 231.
Mhm.
Yeah, right there.
Very good.
Because I wouldn't know. Because if it was like $2.
Well, no, Gunnar's right though, because like, why do we put it at the very end? So, question, Gunnar, because you almost are there. I see your thought process. You were absolutely correct. But if I put 231 like this, which one's greater?
The top one.
Because it's in the hundreds on the right of the
Like
decimal, and if it's on the right of the decimal, it's 10 times more than on the left.
Look at you guys. Look at this. You guys are doing great.
Oh yeah.
So-
now
Let's look at your problems now. I'm gonna have you guys do let's look at letter A,
okay.
and this kind of goes inside. Look what we're looking at. Have you done letter A?
Well,
Okay. So now we're looking at place value of 0.04 times
Blank equals 0.4.
blank. Now we're gonna figure out how to solve for blank. In algebra or anything like that, the blank is gonna represent the question mark, right? We don't know what that is gonna be. What's the rule? What do we have to multiply?
10 by 10.
How did we get that though? Because Sky, look at this. Sky, you see this? That 0 is in what place? If it's behind the decimal, let's look at my place value. That's in the tenths. Very good. And then this is going to be in the hundreds. So how do we write that out? 4 times, is it, how many times do we do it? 10 times 10, right?
Mhm.
Because we're in the hundreds. Now, I know we're not supposed to necessarily use tricks or anything, but Sky, if you look at this and you're trying to solve, something I really like is look at how many zeros I have. I have 1, 2. If I were to do 10 times 10, what would that be?
100.
100, right? Because we are looking at the tenths place value, right? So here, what is that going to be? 0.04 times what equals 0.4? We're going to have to, are we going to multiply or divide?
Well,
Oh, it says multiply, right?
yeah. And then, can I tell you the answer?
As long as you explain your reasoning.
Okay. So how I got is because that 4
Why don't you
times.
show what you got?
Well, it's because of this. 4 times
Okay,
10
can we
times
stop
10,
and take
and
that
there's 2 zeros. So, it's 10 to the power of 2. So,
And you already fill out.
because there's 2 zeros.
There's 2 zeros, right?
So,
So when we look at all this stuff, we are going to start at the very end, and we're going to move that decimal how many times to get to there? 1 and 1 time. So that's going to be in the tenths, right? And we move the decimal to the left. What happens?
divide.
It
gets
Small. Wait, bigger. Wait, no,
smaller.
smaller.
It gets smaller. Yes. If you move the decimal to the right, what happens? Say
Bigger.
bigger. Very good. Okay, so now I want you guys to go through and work on A or 1, 2, and 3 on their own, okay? And then I'm gonna finish from there.